Hello everyone, Josh first back again, bringing you guys some more 7 Deadly Sins Grand Cross, and today I'm going to be talking a little bit about how a lot of you should be preparing for the training cave. Now, there is no confirmation that the training cave will be dropping this week or even next week, but with Chapter 8 being in the game, which of course also introduces us to the training cave, it's safe to assume that it is coming very, very soon. So a lot of you need to know what to prepare for, how to prepare, and now is as good a time as any. So let's go ahead and take a look at our hero box and talk a little bit about what you should be doing. So if you look at my my character box right now, you'll notice that I have everyone at SSR level 50 or higher. The object here is you want to get as many units as you possibly can to UR level 60, including your rares. There's some really good rares and SRs that are going to be very good for some of the stages of Training Cave. Training Cave does not use gear, so thankfully you do not have to worry about using any kind of gear, which is very good. But because you are not using gear, some of your characters that you might need to use are of course going to need to be a little bit built up, and they have to be UR or you can't even use them in the Training Cave to begin with. So you want to get them to UR level 60 and preferably at least 4-star awakened, as many as you possibly can. I know a lot of free-to-plays are nowhere near ready for this. They are not prepared, but hopefully now that you know what you need to prepare for, you can start trying to prep and do as much as you can. Now, with this current Escanor event that's going on, we're getting a lot of SR pendants. So this is a great time to jump in and start working on some of your SR units, getting them to level 60. Go farm up, some of the stages and try and get them to at least 4-star awakened. Some of the ones that are very good for, the Training Cave, one rare and one SR that stands out that I want to talk about briefly is, let me go ahead and find her. I gotta find her. You guys love how the box is right here. Vivian. Vivian is going to be a very good unit that you want to go ahead and build up. I would love to continue building her. She's an SR. Another good SR is Red Slater. Red Slater is also amazing, but a lot of people have already talked about him, and a lot of people already know at this point he's a good unit. But we don't talk about Mage Vivian that much. Vivian is very good. So Vivian, on her skill 1, she can go ahead and apply ignites, remove stances. Just a really nice skill. Her skill 2 disables ultimate moves of one enemy for 1 turn, 2 turns, and 3 turns. Very nice. And her ultimate inflicts shatter, which ignores resistance. If you are a Blue King user, which most of you are, you know all about shatter and how good it really can be. And that she does that to 1 enemy. She's a very solid unit. And then her passive here as well increases attack by 8% for every orb filled in a hero's ultimate move gauge. So she's also going to be increasing her own attack. Now it's going to be very good for a unit that is not going to have any gear. So she's going to be one of those good units that you want to definitely take a look at. Obviously Red Slater, he's a monster in pretty much a lot of facets of the game, but he's really going to set himself apart of how good he really is and how much those debuffs that he has in his arsenal are going to be effective in Training Cave. His Training Cave varies in difficulties the more and more you do, and the units that you use in Training Cave in one given week cannot be used again. So after you use those units to make a team and you beat whatever stage you're trying to clear, you cannot use those same units again in that given time period. So that's why you need a lot of units built up. That way you can get as far as you possibly can in the Training Cave to make use of all the rewards available. So hopefully you guys and gals that there are keeping up. Alioni is a pretty good rare hero. He's got a good bit of damage output. Same for Simon. But I think the best rare in the game, in my personal opinion, is this bad boy right here. Lord Twigo. Not only does he have an amazing passive, increases strength attribute allies HP by 30%, kind of similar to Jillian, who's also a very good unit. She increases HP for green units by 30%, so pretty much the same as Twigo, but for green. But Twigo also has really good damage output. He has a single target that goes up to 600%. Big multiplier, big damage on that S1, on that skill 1. Skill 2, attack all enemies. Very good AoE there, goes up to 375. And then his ult, which also is an AoE, 2 times crit chance increase, which is very good. Obviously, you're not going to have any gear on him, but his crit chance, you know, you can get around the 40-50% mark, depending on what kind of cosmetics and, you know, stuff like that you have invested. So, not too bad. Twigo is definitely going to be one of those good rares that you definitely want to build up. Rares, of course, take rare pendants, and a lot of you are like, okay, well, I got a bunch of rare pendants laying around, especially if you've been playing since day one. Who do you build up for rares? Well, obviously, Twigo is one of them. Simon, obviously, a lot of you probably been building up Simon, especially if you're a Blue Slater user or a Red Slater user. You know, a lot of people are running Blue Slater, obviously, because of Red Demon. It was the first demon that we had to beat up on to start evolving over character 65, so a lot of you obviously had a Blue Slater. He's at Coin Shop Unit 2, so Alioni again, very good unit. Unfortunately, I think he has like the lowest CC in the game, so a lot of people kind of disregard him for a lot of things, especially for stages that require CC. So for a free-to-play, it's really hard to build up Alioni over Jillian for the simple fact that he lacks that CC. But for everyone else, you've probably built up Alioni to use for your farm teams. Some of you probably were running this guy in early stages of story with your Jerichos or your green Meliodases or your green Lizhawk because of his passive, which of course increases HP attribute allies attack related stats by 10%, which is very, very good. And you can use that in any mode in the game. His ult cancels stances on one enemy and inflicts damage equal to 1050% of attack, so he can hit hard. He suffers from low stats. That's his only problem. But he's another good rare to build up. Simon, obviously, we've talked about him. Very good. Obviously, SSRs. You're going to build up all the SSRs that you actually use on a day-to-day basis. Don't go out of your way trying to build up SSRs that you don't need or you don't use. Now, a lot of SSRs do very well in Training Cave where they might not do well in other areas of the game, ones that you don't generally use that much. Like Green Elizabeth and Green Elaine, right now they have a really good spot right now in the game because of the final boss, but they're also pretty good in the actual Training Cave as well. So those are 2 solid units, so you're getting a little bit of a, you know, double value out of them. Green Elizabeth is also pretty decent in Grey Demon, so there's that as well. So at least you're getting a little bit of value of some of those units you wouldn't normally use. All Jerichos are definitely good. Like, there's no bad Jericho in this game. They're all decent. They all have either great skill sets or great passives or a combination of the 2. So all the SR Jerichos, plus you want those costumes anyway, those cosmetics unlocked for your main green Jericho, and eventually down the road, blue SSR Jericho. So that's definitely something that you also want to make sure you're working on. You know, all the Elizabeths, the Lizhawks are all good. Red, green, blue, it doesn't matter. They're all fantastic. So there's a lot of SRs and rares that you can build up that are a lot cheaper to build up than the SSRs. So if you are a free-to-play, don't feel like, oh my god, Training Cave's coming and I need to build up a bunch of units. I'm screwed. I have no SSR pendants. Thankfully, with the current event going on with SRs and rares being able to be bought really daily and weekly, and I'll show you how to do that in a moment, you know, you should be able to have quite a bit built up to at least level 60. And like I said, after you get them to level 60, I recommend you try to get them to 4-star Awaken as well. And the reason why I feel that the 4-star Awaken is important is if we go to, let's see, who do we have here? Let me go to my Gila. So if you go to your Gila, for example, you go to Awaken, you know, you'll see that on the 4th Awaken, that's when you get their second biggest attack boost. So it usually goes attack, HP, attack. I'm sorry, HP, attack, HP, attack, HP, attack again. And obviously that gives them the biggest stats, these 5 and 6 Awakenings. But 5 and 6 Awakenings require 5-star chalices or higher. And doing that over the course of an entire box is a lot of resources. Not to mention that these resources are a little bit harder to farm for a lot of players because they're in higher to beat stages, etc., etc. And those aren't areas that you're normally farming as much as you are in the first few chapters, where you're able to get all of, you know, the 1st to 4th Awakening materials. Plus, you can use 4-star and under chalices. So, getting those are a lot easier to come by. So, a lot of recommendations are to get them to 4-star Awaken. You know, just as much as you can do. Like I said, don't kill yourself don't go out of your way. If some of you can't beat all of Training Cave on, within, its first time around, second time around, third time around, it's going to take some time. So be patient. But, just make sure that you're leveling up as many units as you can. First, obviously, take the priority and do the ones that are units that you're using on a day-to-day basis, either as a link unit, for demon raids, which is death batch, for final boss, for PvP, geared, ungeared, for general farming. Make sure you're building those characters up first, obviously, and then start working your way down your box and start building up some of the other ones. Like I said, we already went over a few good options for SRs and rares. Those are definitely some good ones to go ahead and build up. There are other ones, but we don't really have time to go every single unit in the game. But those are definitely some of the ones that I would definitely highly recommend building up. You can see here, you can prep by farming up a bunch of EXP potions. Next time we have a Fort Solgris half off, maybe go ahead and start farming some EXP potions, farming up some books. Get those all prepared so you can start slowly getting a few of your units built up. And then, make sure you're also doing every demon raid that you can catch so you have enough of your demon resources. Now, with the current event where you can get SR pendants, a lot of you are probably wondering, okay, well, how do you get the rare pendants? Because you can farm them from the SP dungeon, obviously. But there's another way. And I've been doing this quite a bit. And I've gotten a lot of my Rs built up solely by doing this. So you go to the shop. You go down here to the coin shop. And we go over here to friendship. Friendship points. If you are rank 70 and you have max friends, which I believe is 38. Let me double check. I believe it's 38. No, 39. My apologies. 39. You're going to get, I believe, somewhere in the high 700s to low 800s every single day that you click send all. Every single day. So let's just say you get 800 a day. Every 3 days, you're going to be over the 2,000 mark. And that's not including the friendship points you get throughout the day and any support units you bring in from your friends list while you're doing your farming. So, if we go back here to the shop, we go to friendship points, you'll notice that it costs 200 friendship points for one rare pendant. Okay? You're going to need 30 of those to get them from an SSR to a UR. Definitely. You're gonna need 30. Okay? So to get those 30 to get them from SSR to UR, you're gonna have to go ahead and buy these a few times a day, every single day, until you have enough that you need. So over the course of a couple weeks, you should be able to level up 2 to 3 of your rares to UR. And that's pretty much all there is to it. Now I know a lot of you, including myself, like to buy the SP dungeon tickets because that's how we farm our our SSR pendants and our SR pendants weekly. But for the sole reason of just getting a few of your rares to UR just so they're ready to go for the training cave, do this for a couple weeks, and then when you're done doing that, then you can go back and start buying your dungeon tickets again. So that is my recommendation. I mean, you're going to get, like I said, over 2,000 every, 2 to 3 days, depending on, your farming situation. So that's not bad. That's, that's 4,000 or 5,000 a week, give or take. I'm not doing the quick math at the moment, but I'm sure a lot of you understand what I'm saying. So it's not too bad. Obviously, you're going to need a lot of gold to, awaken everyone. So you're going to want to farm your books. Like I said, as soon as we get another half Fort Solgris day off, for stamina, definitely go in there, farm your books, farm your EXP potions, get as much as that stocked up as you can, go through your box, pick some of those characters that we mentioned that were SR and rares, build them up to at least 60, go and get them 4-star awakened, and then go from there. And as I said earlier, make sure your priority first is to build up the characters that you're actually using on a day-to-day basis. I just want to make that very, very clear. Do that first and foremost before you start building up the other units. And when you're done doing all that, then hopefully you'll be ready for the training dungeon, aka training cave. And this is where we're going to be getting a lot of good rewards. Anvils, hammers, and a lot of other things. They're going to be coming. And the importance of hammers. just so a lot of you know, because a lot of you probably don't know what hammers are even for. What do you do with hammers? I'll show you why hammers are amazing. So if we go in here, I'm trying to think who I've got gear on right now. Let me go to my red Gother. If I go to my red Gother, you'll see here that when we select a piece of gear and we go to change stats, we have the main stat you can change. You have the substats, right? The bonuses. Well, it gives you two options. You can change SSR gear with diamonds or anvils. You can change rare gear and lower with gold or anvils. But when we get hammers, hammers will have a little icon right around here on the sides of these. And what it does, it actually locks in that stat, that substat, but it gives you a chance to increase it. It will not decrease, it will increase it. So we're going to make a video talking about how to prepare for hammers, maybe tomorrow or the next day. I'm not too sure yet, but I don't want to talk too much about it in this video because it's a whole other topic that I want to spend a few minutes on. I think we've talked long enough. So hopefully you guys understand now what you need to do to prepare for the training cave. Build up that box. Build it up as much as you physically can. Get it ready, because you're going to regret it if you don't. When training cave, aka training dungeon, drops and your units aren't ready to go, you don't got a bunch of UR 60s 4-star awaken, you're going to regret it, because then you're going to have limited options to take in, and thus it's going to halt your progress of how far you can go. And there's going to be a lot of different team setups, and sometimes you don't need to run a full team. Sometimes you only need 1 or 2 units, like Red Slater, Vivian. Units like that can help you have smaller teams because of how effective their skills actually are on some of the stages. So with all that said, I hope you guys all enjoyed today's little guide. You know, I'll be back at it again talking about hammers in a day or two, give or take. And yeah, so again, subscribe, tick notifications, join us in the Discord in the description below if you guys want to play this game in beautiful full screen like I am playing now via landscape mode, which is built in the app. Go ahead and download the BlueStacks affiliate link, which you can find in the description. It really helps the channel out. Like the video if you did, if it was helpful. Comment below if you guys are ready for Training Cave, aka Training Dungeon. If not, hopefully this video kind of got you on the right path and got you thinking about the future. Anyways, take care, have an awesome day and the rest of your weekend. Until next time, peace.